Right. Banna ke gona bana number 3.2. Ba batlang mo 3.2. The following. Bari. Post the cash receipts and cash payments. Journal of Brown's Plumbing to the General Ledger on the 31st of July 2019. But total or balance the necessary account. Right, you are in question 3. Magwale ho 3.2. Barry post the cash receipts and cash payment journal. So repost the cash receipts and cash. Post the cash receipts and cash payment journal of Mr. Brown's Plumbing. Mr. Brown's Plumbing to the General Ledger. To the General Ledger. To the General Ledger on 31st July. On the 31st of July 2019. Bebare total or balance the necessary account. We must total or balance the necessary account. We must total or balance the necessary account. Right. These are journals that we need to post. Right. Cash receipt journal of Mr. Brown's Plumbing for July 2019. Renew. Cash receipt journal of Mr. Brown's Plumbing. Usually, because journalism are two, I'm going to try and divide this board into 2 parts. I'm going to divide the board into 2 parts of Mr. Brown's Plumbing for July 2019. So, anyway, journal. We must take this information from the journal and post it to a cash receipt, a cash payment journal. Right, ring journal, renew the doc number, renew the day, renew the details, renew the analysis of receipts, okay, renew the bank, renew current income, renew sundry account, renew the sundry account. Right. Sundry account. Okay. And then from there, Ratiba or under sundry account, renale the amount Renali, the folio number, because the folio number is not there. I'm just going to try and make some space. We're not going to fill up the folio number, therefore I'm going to exclude the folio number, and then we will have the details. And then this is basically our cash receipt journal. Yeah, Mr. Brown. All right. So what other information is provided? The doc number is R20 for the first transaction. That was on the first. And then from there we have the details. Mr. D. Brown. Mr. D. Brown. And then from there we have the analysis of receipts. 50,000 rand. Was it deposited into the account? Of course. The current income, it's not recorded. The amount on the sundry account is 50,000. The details, this was capital. And but if it is capital, we do not record that under the current balance. And then Renale, the second transaction, the document number is CRR, and then we have on the 5th the details. It was for services rendered. This was for services rendered. The analysis of receipts, 12,500. Was it deposited into the account? Of course. Is this the current income? Yes, it is the amount that the business has generated, 12,500. Are we going to record that under sundry accounts? No, we understand that by now. And then we have a document CRR once again. What was the day? The day was the same on the 5th, so we don't write that number 5 because it was on the same day. All right. And then what was the details? This was also for service render. Hey.
Same day.
Okay, the transaction is in the same day. If we were to the transaction, it's a 20 galtats. We only record one transaction, but the total is a
How can I tell you 5 happy opposite?
Maybe make a partition a guy a fella red pen on you don't have to do that. You can just point. You can just point like this to say it is the same date. You can just point. I don't know whether that is legal. Right. This was for savers rendered. The amount was 6,000. Was this the amount that was deposited into the account? Yes. Was this the amount that the business generated? Yes. Are we going to record that under the sundry account? No, we are not going to do that. Right. And then renew the total. Renew the total. Remember, renew this journal. Yamutu renew. Totally on remember we don't total the analysis of receipts. It's just a breakdown of the bank collar. So mona rabatanali totally we can just do this. So the total mona ikaba when you add those amounts about 68,500, and I know the amount to Kamuna ikaba 12,500 plus 6,000 iki 18,500. And then the sundry account how the error of fella, there's only one amount, you have 50,000. And I got about 50,000 plus 18,500, take is 68,500. So the general balances. Right now, we know how supposed. We know cash receipt journal, yeah, Mr. Brown. Kiena renew. Renewally cash payment journal, yeah, Mr. Brown. Right. Boto ya kono tseba inyane. Boto ya kono ko blend inyane. Boto ya rona is very very small. Ere ke tla mona kere cash payment.
Mfilo ke ba jang ha bena la tse.
Wa tseba ke nahana
O ijikise tse.
ke nahana mpere mo le tshi. Bon. Haina stress. Ha re ka fatshe. Ha re ka fatshe re cash payment. Cash payment journal. This is the cash payment journal of the Mr. Brown. Let's just say Mr. Brown's plumbing for July 2019. Right. When we work cash receipt journal, run cash payment journal. Now, what are the values? We have the document number, we have the day, we have the name of the payee, renale the bank, renale the wages, renale the amount, renale the sundry, sorry, after wages, renale the sundry account. Okay, under sundry account, the amount. The folio number, we're not going to fill that up because for grade 8, you don't have to do that. And then we have our details. And this is what we have. This is how our cash payment journal will look like. Now, what are the details that are provided? Renale 002, the day, it's not recorded, that's fine. The name of the payee, it's plunger and taps. This is for plunger and taps. The amount 750. Wages, it's not recorded, the amount 750. And then the details, this is consumable goods. Consumable goods. That was the first one. And now we go to the second one. Let me just try to do this. Accounting is worse because Ibeba 003. The day was on the 5th. This was cash. Name of the payee. The payee paid with cash. The amount was 280, and the wages, it's 280. Sundry account, we are not recording anything there. We are going to try and explain everything before we can even fill up this, so that we understand why some blocks do not have the amount and the reason behind that. And then we have 004, and then this was on the 10th. This is Mr. Brown. The amount was 300 rand. The wages not recorded, the amount 300 rand. And then this was for drawings. Okay, and then we have another transaction, 006. This was on the 12th. The name, the person paid just with cash. The name of the payee, your name is cash. We can say you paid with cash as well. And then we have the bank, 548. Wages, 548. Sundry account, we are not recording anything there. And then the totals for this would be as follows. So we know, okay, the bank, the total amount is 1,878. The wages, when you add those two, you get 878. Your sundry account, when you add that, you get 1,050. And that's about 1,050 plus 878 must equals 1,878, because you need to balance that. But this is what is provided. Now, what is our duty? Before we can even go and look at our duty, let's just have some quick reading, so that I remind you of some of the things that we might have said previously in our accounting. Right. We will look at the following. The difference between a cash receipt journal and a cash payment journal. I want us to understand the following. Just a recap of already what we have said. Right. The CRJ records all the cash. Very important. This is a cash receipt. It records all the cash receipt transactions of the business. We have the CRJ doing that for us. And then the receipts are all the money that is received by the business and deposited into the business bank account. That's the duty of the cash receipt journal. And then the cash payment journal, the CPJ records all the cash payments, all the cash payments transactions of the business. Now, CRJ, it records all the cash receipts transactions. The CPJ records all the cash payments transactions of the business. Emwe recorder the cash receipts, emwe recorder the cash payments. Cash receipt and cash payment. Payments refer to all the checks drawn against the current bank account of the business. Now, this is very important. Payments refer to all the checks drawn. All the checks drawn against the current bank account of the business. Come on, Tsuyama. Cash payment. It records all the cash that was drawn against the business in the account of the business. So come on, Tsuyama. all of those payments that we made via cash, using a check, all the payments that we have done using check. And this is the amount of money that went out of the business. So the business was credited because the money was taken out of the business via transactions of check. We paid cash payment. Cash receipt, we received the money was being entered into the account of the business. The account was debited. Receipts are all the money received by the business and deposited into the business bank account. This is the vast difference that we need to understand between cash payment and cash receipt journal. Cash payment journal all the transactions that were made via check, and those transactions were made against what? The business. Money went out of the business. For business via check. That one is recorded in what? In a cash payment journal. All the transactions that we made when money left the business via check. Cash receipt journal, all the money that entered into the business. The account of the business was debited on a cash receipt journal. On a cash payment journal, the account of the business was credited. Money was taken out via check because all these drawings were made against the business. Inana ya utlwahala ba profeta. Jwale ho thiretse, use the provided layout of the general ledger as a guideline. The general ledger of Mr. Brown's plumbing balance sheet section. This is what we are provided with. Refill up this column. Ke tlo ngolla kae? Ke tlo leka ka matla o di peteletsa di ka kgona o peteletsa boto ya rona e nyane. So ka mantswe a mang ho thwe ho rona use the provided layout of the general ledger as a guideline. Right. Ikai general ledger. Renew. This is the general ledger. The general ledger of Brown's plumbing. Plumbing balance sheet section. Okay, this is what we have. Now, we have the blocks that are provided to us. This is the layout that is provided to us, and I think I have drawn so much. I shouldn't draw this big. Just this portion will be enough. And we have the first, the second, the third, the fourth, and we have a line of separation. Okay, we have this, we have this, we have this, and we have this. Right, so mona renale capital. We are only recording capital here. Right. Ke eng tshwe? Ema pele ntate, ema pele. This is the general ledger of Mr. Brown's plumbing balance sheet section. It's a general ledger. Right. The general ledger of Brown's plumbing balance sheet section, where we are going to record the capital. Now, this capital that we are going to record must come from the table that is provided here. Now, my question, where do we find the capital in this balance sheet that we have? Where do we find capital? Which transaction here shows capital? Agu? A, KFing, mplele date, mplele document number. R20, the date.
K1, details, Mr. D. Brown.
Analysis of receipts, 50,000, 50,000, sundry account, 50,000. Details again, capital. So we are taking that amount, and then we are recording that amount under the balance sheet section of capital. There's nothing that you write on the side. What you only do, you give us here, you give us the date. You give us the date. What was the date, Mo? 1
Day.
On the 1st of July 2019. 1st of July 2019. That is the date. How can you refer date? Okay, where was this money deposited? The money was deposited into a bank account.
50,000.
The money was deposited into a bank. Okay, and then what was what is the type of a journal that we use to record this capital? Is it a CRJ or a CPJ journal? Where does that amount come from? CRJ or CPJ? CRJ. This is CRJ. And then what was the amount? What was the amount? 50,000. This is how you post into a balance sheet section. Very, very important that you note this. Whenever you are dealing with capital, this is highly and highly important. We come here. First of all, we trace where do we find our capital. The capital is found on our cash receipt journal. Right. And what is this capital? Yeah, 50,000. Somebody akaringa yon. Based on what you have learned thus far. Ukaringa 50,000 you. How to get capital? Ki capital. Una na 50,000 yenu I deposit to ekimang for what reason? Una na 50,000 you I deposit to ekimang for what reason? Obviously I deposit to Mr. Brown. Maybe as a startup capital for him, for the business. The capital. And a bond, I deposit to Mr. D. Brown, the owner of the business. So come on, I deposit them into the account as a startup capital. Right. Because the capital, we are not recording anything on this side, on the left side. On the right side, where you have this a bold line. First of all, you give us the date, the month, and the year. The transaction took place on the 1st of July, the date, and the month, and what was the year? 2019. Secondly, that amount was a deposit into a bank. And then where was this recorded? It was recorded on a cash receipt journal. Again, because kitchelete ekening into the business, even though it say the money that the business on its own generated, but also that amount was debited. Therefore, we recorded that amount under the CRJ. How much was the amount? 50,000. This is the first one. Baoneya diele born. This is the bank. Kopa separate letsatsi le sele. Kopa re tseji. Ne je kopa re tseji. Re July 2019. Mona rere it was on the 1st. Kopa re separate kgwedi le letsatsi. Please, kopa re separate. Rere ki July 2019 on the 1st of July 2019, this was deposited into a bank account. It was recorded on a CRJ. The amount was 50,000. Kopa fela really separate mo, please. Right, now we are done. Ka capital. Bane ba batla re feed up this information. Secondly, ba refa the drawings. Ke eng the drawings? Ke eng the drawings? Ntotso di tiro ya? Ke eng the drawings, guys? Banna ke eng the drawings? Ke wena sani re bua ka tšhelete mona. A ke re bua ka tšhelete mo bontate.
Ke diphoofolo tse tlogang tšheleteng.
Jehova mahodimo. Luna ke in the drawings. Payments refer to all the checks drawn against the current bank account of the business. Luna the drawings the drawings is the drawing chelete. Ke in the drawings. The drawings ke in, guys. Ha re bua ka the drawings. The drawings ke di send.
I don't feel like it will go into ke tšhelete di drawings. O batla tseno ke tsa tšhelete.
Banna ke eng the drawings?
Ke nana phoofolo tse tlogang tšheleteng.
Let's have a in the drawings. Kgale re di entse. Kgale re buile ka di drawings.
Ke nna se kgona di etsa.
Banna ke in the drawings. Banna the drawings again.
Drum series.
Okay, chat. Going to move away. Kinya.
Banna re buile le lona gare. If the owner decides to draw money for his or her personal use, these drawings are also deducted from the value of the owner's equity. Ke eng drawings?
table.
The drawings, we can say the transactions. Those are the drawings, the transactions that shows the chelete and ENTE. Those are the drawings. We drew money from the account and then we bought this or we paid this or we did that. Those are the drawings. Again, to throw in chelete. Drawings again to throw in chelete. Go out to the chelete. Those are the drawings. Drawings refers to the transactions. There are money that left the account for a reason, for whatsoever reason there should be. Into the account, we did this. Into the account, and then we did that. And what are those? All those are the drawings. We took this and we spent it on that. So come on, Twamang, there is a relationship when it comes to drawings and expenses, because you will only draw money from the account for a particular expense. Yeah. Right. 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 Renally, the month, renally the day, where was the money deposited, the type of a journal that was used, and the amount of money thereof. And then after that, we have this bold line in our drawings, and nothing is recorded on this side. Nothing is recorded on this side. I want you to note the difference. On a CRJ, the capital, we are recording on the right side. Nothing is being recorded on the left side. With the drawings, we are recording on the left side and nothing is being recorded on the right side. Now, the first block, Refana, according to this data, the drawings, are we going to find our drawings on the cash receipt journal or on the cash payment journal? These drawings.
Cash payment journal.
Cash payment journal. Because remember, money was taken out of the account for whatsoever reason. So because the account was credited, we are going to find our information on the cash payment. We took money to do what? To pay for something. And then that was recorded, because this is a what? It's a drawing. Money was drawn out of the account. And we paid with cash. That's why a cash payment. We took money from the account and then we went there and we paid with cash. TFN transaction ebontsang that mo
004.
004. Ah, Jesus. Kiani ngotswe bontate. Drawings.
004.
Wala sa nikelelo you guys. You guys kelelo. Right, mfe kgwedi. The transaction is ka kgwedi e feng? July 2019. What was the day? On the 10th. Very good. And then where was this recorded? Where was the money drawn from? The money was drawn from the bank. The money was drawn from a bank account, right? And then in fair, the type of a journal that we use.
Cash payment.
Cash payment journal. Can you see Magan 12 in 20 simi? Board, month, day, bank, type of journal, amount. It's just that with capital, because it is on the cash receipt journal, we are recording on the right. Because this is a drawing, we are recording on the left. But the same procedural method is being used. How much was the amount?
300.
300. And then you are done. Banna lona le lontsha distinction tsa accounting. Lona ke a le bolella banna le lontsha distinction tsa accounting. Ha ke batla ho bua maka. Right. Ha ona taba. Re qetile ka di drawings. Jwale re ya ho bank. Right. And then a more bank. Re ne o block o lo newa. A se ntho ntse ke iketsetsa yona a wa inewa. Re na le the first one, the second, the third, and the fourth. Right, how can you information here? This is what we have. This is what you have, but now you just have to fill up the correct information where it is necessary in each block. Okay, and then we have this bold line. Okay, and then we have the month, the day, the type of a journal, and the amount. Right. The new way this block, ba bank. Now, my question. These are all the transactions that we have on the bank. Bank column. Again, born to the right, we have the bank transaction, all the amounts that we have on the bank. Right. The transaction on the bank, which day? Cash payment journal, cash receipt journal. Cash receipt journal. I record that amount to 50,000 because it was already recorded on capital. Right. What other transaction do we have? 12,500. Now my question, are we going to record all these amounts, or are we just going to take the total? Are we going to record all these amounts, or are we just going to record the total? Why tsona kaofela?
For re kgone ho ba le balance. Re kgone ho balance.
Already it was balanced. Re entse cash receipt journal ga e balance, ra etsa cash payment journal le yona ga e balance. So come on, we need to take the totals because already this is balanced. So mplelle he kamo re ngola the month. Which month is this? July 2019. Mfe letsatsi. What was the day?
What?
That amount to 68,500. In a date ya teng e reng? Okay, bonena. Were we not given that? No, I know lona. Ina lona, I get. But jwale re tlo etsa jwang? Because ga e batla ntwe.
Don't go to Zealand. La the faith.
Now, remember it's saying, but luna le focus. Post cash receipt and cash payment journal of Mr. Brown's plumbing to the general ledger on the 31st. So come on, Fiamang, this total, these transactions, the final amount of adding those monies were compiled on the 31st. Ntate khotso ba nne be ntse nkutlwa ntate a kere re kgweding tšhelete ntse kena e nngwe ntse e tswa accountong ha kgwedi fela re tlamehile re patale batho jwale re bone na re ntse bokae khona re etsang eng di total. So the last day when the sheet was balanced, it was on the 31st. Okay. So what is this amount? This amount here, 68,500. Ke for in. Kia in. Chelte you. Kia total receipts. Totally how because ke net kia. Ke totally the receipts and remember the receipts again. Ke cash. Receipts are the amount of money that the business had been able to accumulate. So ke cash here how, including Leona startup capital here. Right. So come on, Tuamang. This was for cash receipts. This was for cash receipts. And then where was that recorded? The cash receipts was recorded on a what? What type of a journal was used? CPJ or CRJ?
CRJ.
CRJ. No, kiane information. What's that? Antate, CRJ. The amount was recorded on the cash receipt journal. Like it? Kiane one is. Lemona in the mood. Canada guy. Right. And then in Rebermola Imu, the amount to give guy. How to give guy amount?
12.
How give guy amount to that?
50,000.
Give guy amount to that?
6,800.
68,500. Our focus are nix. Kore how mona le mona ntate. Kore o hell a kitse. Re tswa mo ntse re bua the same mo. Ntse go bona gore how mona le mo. O hole ntate matatiele di moteng tse thata tsa bonkgono. How mona le mo. O hole ntate o far away. Very far. Right, how na down. That was the left side. The left side of the bank, we go into the bank column, we take the totals. The first thing we is Rengola, the month, July 2019. When were those receipts compiled as a sum? It was compiled on the 31st. That's when we close the journal of the month. And then this was that totals. It's the cash receipts, the total sum, the sum of all the receipts of the business. Those receipts were recorded on a cash receipt journal. The total amount of the receipts, 68,500. On the left side of the bank. Record in on the left side, cash receipt journal. On the right side, record in cash payment journal. Because if a bank, ka cash receipt, hape a bank, ka cash payment. I get to be of it. On the bank, Leona Ringa in the total, the final amount. Right. Get a room paying. The month. What was the month? In fact, the month. Until July 2019. Yeah. July 2019. What was the day, the final when did they finally complete this? At the end of the month. Again, yeah, on the 31st. The 31st. Right. And then what is this amount? Yeah, 18,778. Okay, total payments. Total payments. Yeah, nile cash receipts. Ke cash getting into the business. Ena na ke eng ke total payments tse really entseng tšhelete e tswile. Tšhelete e tswile ngwanes. So this is cash payments. Where was this recorded? On the CPJ. What was the amount? 1,878. Again, rent. Right. How na taba? A ke tsebela ba ga hantle ba profeta. A ke tsebela ba taba tsa bona di apere khotso. So when it comes to the bank column, on the left ki CPJ, on the right ki CRJ on the left, CPJ on the right. Okay. What else can we record in this? What else?
Analysis of receipt.
What else must be recorded under the bank? Unahana, what else should be recorded under the bank?
Sundry account.
Unahana dwan. Why?
So I assume because the totally ya sundry account ya
ya wages.
Ya wages. How do you do fund?
Do for bank. Can need. Usually. Ga tlo gona o yetsa o le pi. Jwale ke eng hape re tlameleng re record under the bank?
Analysis of receipt. Ke ona fela so ka mme. Yona le eng ga bona.
Banna ke eng ha?
Analysis of receipt.
What else should be recorded? Hey, Papa Prophet.
Analysis of receipt. Mara, yona I go pass.
Ke eng banna re tlameleng re record banna?
Ya analysis of receipt.
Ja ha.
Details is a taka sundry account.
Re tlamehile re balance this. Re tlamehile re balance CPJ le CRJ. Generally tse tsa rona tse di postueng under the bank. Re tlamehile re di balance. Re tlo di balance jwang? Re tlo etsa jwang mo? Re batla balance re bona rona whether chelete e ngata e kene kapa chelete e ngata e tswile. Whether there's any profit that we have made. Under total payments,
The total
total payments. Under total payments mo. Okay, that's fine. Ganala amount to kiani. Under total payments mo. Gotoba le balance mo. About the balance. About the balance, and the only way to find balance, and then under this CPJ re tlo ngola C/D, and then ha re qeta mono re tlo sheba okay, this amount ya 1878 e shota ka bokae hore e balance on the left. Ntse calculator ya hao bon o mamele ke re cash receipt journal total ya teng ke bokae 68,500. Cash payment journal total ya teng ke bokae 1,878. Cash payment journal e shota ka bokae hore e balance cash receipt journal. Olori 68,500 minus 1,878 to bomfa value. Right balance. 68,500 minus 1,878.
Minus
1,800. You can calculate your hot.
Okay, I give you the computing. Infa 6,000.
I'm trying to search out.
6,662.
66,000 munna ona le bothata ba ho bitsa dinamo. 66,000 66,622. 66,622. Ajak hore yo fe total ya bokae 68,500. Our cash payment journal total ya 21,878. E shota ka bokae ka 66,622 hore yo fe 68,500. So ke batla ho bontsha monate wa business. Business tšhelete keneng ke bokae 68,500 e kgweding. Re spendile fela bokae kgweding 1,878. Re entse profit ya bokae 66,622. Re entse tšhelete and re spendile less ho feta tšhelete e ngata e keneng. This is very important to hold on that. Very, very important that you understand all this. Right, and then when that is done, we will come here. Bob, 68,500 ya how? Otakamuna ka blokomba that amount. Ya 68,500. Ongola in that value e shota. Ya 66,622. O shebe na ke rengwe ha o qeta hore this amount e shota ka bokae hore e etse this o nka that amount e o fika o tlo ngola mo hore ka mantswe a mang ene we ngola ka kae. Be very careful. We ngola ka ho cash receipt journal, site ya banka ya cash receipt journal o fika o ngola that amount ya how ya what's that be it John ha re etse ke ha re nke 68,500 ina ya ro ha re qeta we nka re ngola mo ha re nke 66,622 re ngole ka fatshe o nka 68,500 ya how ya cash payment journal e leng hore o itse 1,878 e shota ka bokae hore e etse 68,500 e shota ka 66,622 ka mantswe a mang 1,878 plus 66,622 yo fa 68,500 o nka that 68,500 o lo ngola ka column ba tšhelete ba cash payment journal o thowa ka yona ha o qeta ka fatshe o ngola this amount ya 66,622 ntona ke ntho tlameleng fela wena o e tsebe. And then ka mo ho ngotsweng ka mo ngolang the type of a journal o ngola BD. You are balancing we will talk about B/D and C/D when we have when we get to the next lecture. And then when we are done, kamo removing cash receipts. Kamuna, what is it that we were doing here? Monana, we were balancing. This is the balance. This amount is the balance. And then the balance here, no. When did this balance, when was it calculated? Because the amount of money the totals were calculated on month end. So come on, what we are saying, this balance was recorded on the 1st of August. This was on the 1st of the following month, which is August 2019. Banna ke batla go tlhalosa ntho nang ke kopa le nkutlwe na ke reng ke kopa le nkutlwe hantle na ke reng ke re holo ha re ka go nka ka lefting ke bank o ya column ba ho ba bank ba cash receipt journal o ngola the month and the year, the day when the totals were recorded, it was on the 31st. What were those totals for? Cash receipts, the amount that entered the business account. The account was debited. And this was recorded on a cash receipt journal. The total amount of the receipts, 68,500. But you don't have only the totals of the bank, cash receipt. You also have the totals of the bank, cash payment. On the right side, cash payment. The totals were recorded on July 2019. All the totals were recorded on the very same day, on the 31st. You have, this was for what? The total payments that we made, the drawings and all that. It was recorded on a CPJ. The total of your cash payment journal, 1,878. Now you have a problem. The left must equal the right. 1,878 is short of 68,500. Is short of 66,622 or 68,500. Onga this 68,500 will record on your cash receipt journal. Straight lining A1. Come on within the amount of it that 68,500. This 68,500. This amount. Yes, 68,500. Onem obalansa 1,878. In a short of guy, 66,622. We ngola under that 68,500. That amount to a short ankayon. Right, how kaita oyaka the type of a journal or a B/D. We will talk about this. And then what was this for? This was not for cash receipts. This was for balancing. We were balancing. And when did the balance take place? If the totals were made on the 31st, you have to balance the journals on the second day, which is on the 1st of August. Because the July, August. And then you are done. And then you are done. You are fully done. That's how you will balance the bank columns that you have. And Shebelena, when only 2 hours. I'm looking to 11. Museti? Kena go bang 10:16. Right, since and then ulo phumula. Now hurry ho block over nominal account section because the nominal account section. We will look at the nominal account section. We have the current income. This table I never, but how know the value next? Now we filling up these values for ourselves. Otona wa fela ma block wa. Wena ka mlo tsebe na di value tse findi ya ka e jwang eng. Right. ba re neile bloko ke boko ya nominal account section right in fact ka re ke ntse ntwete le ke tsetse ba nna le ngola test ya accounting o sane le skela wa ho sane le ngola test ya accounting motho tla hlalosa khuto sane ska wara ka tsona tse le ngola ka tsona tse na ba profeta ene o fela nthwena e le tjena o bo wetswa tje o bo wetswa tje o bo wetswa tje o bo wetswa tje e felletse ba batla re recorde the nominal account section which is ka fatshe current income e kae current income wena ha o sheba di journal tseo tse pedi
CRJ
current income ka mona re na le wages, that's fine, wages. In fact, we also recording on the right side, not on the left side, on the right side. Ya current income. In fact, kgwedi le selemo
July 2019.
In fact, letsatsi when those current income re na re nka eng hape mo the total. I get the total. What was the month, the day? The 31st. What was that? Rengola mo.
Current income.
Okay, can. Okay, current income again. This is the amount taken into the bank. Taken into the bank, and then what type of a journal did we use to record that? CRJ. What was the total amount of your current income?
18,500.
We are done. 18,500. Now have a look record the wages. What's the wage and trade? I recorded the wages. It's a very local. Hey, Kopalen recorded the wages. Current income on record on the right, wages on record on the left. Ekeleza memo no ba profit. Kwa kuna ichain. Right one. Right. Hey, why tsiba? Hari ye mo profit. Hari ye le phone. Banna ari tsin tshefela banna. Mona o lahle ha o ho feduwe bana mono ho feduwe. The wages are recorded on the left again, the current income on the right, wages on the left. Manarian high. Having high about profit. Look at it again. July 2019, the 31st. This was deposited into an account. It was recorded on a CPJ. The amount was 878. Sharp. ha go lo dula mfatshe banna re practice banna ke le buile ka nako lo o ka nna shoota wena shoota
Ke rata fulu.